that has taken place in Pakistan, where 3 suicide bombers have been killed during the attack on the Charsada court in Pakistan. What we're hearing is that one attacker exploded when the police fired at him at the gate. One lawyer has also been killed. 15 others have sustained injuries. They have been now moved to the Tehsil Tangi Hospital in Charsada. I'm going to go straight across now to India Today's Kasper Klastra, who joins us for more on this. Kasper, first of all, just tell us what exactly happened. Give us the very latest updates you have.
Well, Avantika, as you have rightly pointed out, 3 suicide attackers have been killed by law enforcement agencies in Charsada, and a dozen of the people got multiple injuries and are rushed to the nearby hospitals. It was really an unfortunate incident, as the police sources said that the 3 suicide bombers attacked the session and district courts early this morning, and due to the high security and vigilance by the law enforcement agencies, they were all killed. This is what I'm getting from a source at the moment.
Right. We also have with us the editor, India Today, Shiv Arur. Shiv, what do you make of these repeated terror attacks, Pakistan being struck by terror yet again? I mean, it was just recovering from the very recent blast that took place in Sehwan in Sindh.
Avantika, this is Charsada, which is very close to Peshawar and also not very far from the Afghan border, which has currently been sealed. Remember that Pakistan has mounted an aggressive posture on Afghanistan. As far as the Taliban is concerned, they've been trying to bolster their defenses in an ironic manner. Whether we should read this attack in conjunction with what has been happening as far as the Pakistan army in Afghanistan is concerned is not known just yet. We should wait a while before we draw any conclusions as to the responsibility for this attack. But this happening in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, not very far from Peshawar, is definitely significant. Were these people specifically looking for the bloodshed of Pakhtuns? Who is responsible? What next? What kind of action will this mean within that province? Will the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan or any other group claim responsibility for this particular attack? What is the significance of this happening right outside a court? All of these questions still unanswered. We're hoping to get answers in the next few minutes.
Absolutely. Shiv, stay with me. We also have with us Hamza Amir to tell us a little bit more about these blasts that have taken place at a local court in the area in Charsada. Hamza, can you just give us more updates as to what are you hearing from your sources? Is the firing still on?
Well, the sources are saying the firing is not being heard anymore, but yes, they heard multiple blasts in Tehsil Tangi in Charsada. Now, Charsada happens to be a place where recently there was an attack on Bacha Khan University, where terrorists were able to enter inside the university and they killed a considerable amount of students and teachers in there. Now, the target seems to be the session court, because the suicide bomber was able to come close to the main gate, and because he was not allowed inside, he blew himself outside at that gate. That is why the casualties have not been too much. Even the injured people, as we speak right now, are standing at 5. So this is something that the sources are confirming right now, though we are not sure of who actually is behind the attack. But yes, this is for certain that Pakistan, after launching its offensive, in retaliation or reaction to the series of suicide blasts that occurred in all parts of Pakistan, claimed lives of hundreds, has actually killed over 100 terrorists, has carried out its strikes inside Pakistan, inside Afghanistan border twice, and has been actually taking this offensive on a new level when it comes to countering terrorism. While I think this seems to be a reaction to that, because right now Pakistan is on the offensive, and yes, these reactions are expected. But Charsada being the target, session courts being target, it brings back the memories of the deadly brutal attack in Quetta that claimed lives of so many lawyers and judges as well. So this time, while it is a terrorist attack, though it seems that the security parameters were in place, that's why the suicide bomber was not able to enter inside the session court.
Absolutely. But why do you think, Hamza, the session court in particular was the target this time around?
I think, these places are softer targets. You see, the Seven Blast was targeted as a shrine at a time when there was a lot of people present during that ritual that were being practiced over there. Similarly, attacks have been carried out in markets, where softer targets can be targeted. Lawyers are the prime target only for the fact that there are cases being heard regarding terrorists, and capital punishments have been given in the past. Militants, including the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, including Islamic State's Khorasan chapter called Pakistani faction Daesh, and Jamaat-ul-Ahrar have been saying that these institutions, who are actually working against, as they say, to their agendas, will be their prime target. And out of all these security installations, I think the courts and the judges and lawyers seems to be one of the most softer target, where they, even if they target and they blow themselves up there, the number of casualties are always very high.
Yes, and Kasper, we have seen such attacks being made on lawyers in the past as well in Pakistan. But speaking of the blast that has occurred, can you just give us an update on what kind of assistance is being given to the injured? Kasper, can you hear me?
Yes, please. What's the question, please?
Yes. Can you just tell us where exactly are the injured being taken to, and the kind of security cordon around this court? What are you hearing from your sources? What is the latest?
According to my sources, the injured have been rushed to the district headquartered hospital in Charsada, and some of my sources in Rescue 1122 has just informed that the badly injured have been rushed to the main hospital, a lady reading hospital in Peshawar, which is situated at a distance of 35 kilometers from the place of incident. This is what I'm getting from my sources. And also, as you have rightly pointed out, 3 suicide members have been killed by the law enforcement agency, but still, given the condition of the injured, the badly injured, who are rushed to the Lady Regan Hospital in Peshawar, I can guess we can, unfortunately, the death toll may rise to 3 to 5 people as well.
Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant is also with us. Gaurav, is this a result of the attacks that has been made by Pakistan on militant hideouts? Because if I'm not mistaken, Afghanistan didn't send out a very stern warning to Pakistan of retaliation if those attacks continue.
These, of course, investigations will show us, but in the past, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has targeted Charsada and this entire area. Now, this is the area where Pakistan claims that it's fought a very successful Zarb-e-Azb or a war on terror, and this is the area where Pakistan is repeatedly being targeted. The reason for that is Pakistan is indiscriminately killing people, massacring people, using heavy artillery, using its fighter jets, and that is why there is a lot of anger against Pakistan Army's brutality in this region. As far as Afghanistan is concerned, Afghanistan is also, like India, a victim of Pakistan-sponsored terror. So while Pakistan may have closed the Afghan-Pakistan border, while Pakistan may have used heavy artillery in targeting people in Afghanistan, it's the indiscriminate killing of its own people that's leading to these fissures within Pakistan, and that is something that Pakistani state is still not coming to grips with. This discrimination between good terrorists and bad terrorists, it continues. So while it does target the Lashkar-e-Jhangvi or the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan or the Tehreek-e-Taliban and Jamaat-ul-Ahrar, it takes absolutely no action against Jaish-e-Mohammed or Lashkar-e-Taiba or the Hizbul Mujahideen, and this distinction is now killing Pakistan.